Hello, back once again for Contemplation 10, Truth Talking Taoist. What I'm going to do is return back to the idea of accountability, like I talked about in Contemplation 5. But this time I'm going to really concentrate on the idea of how accountability is taken away when we're given misguided information about things that really don't exist, a bit like fairy tales. And stories that were given as children, like that given the idea of the Easter Bunny and Santa Claus or God, and I put those in the same bracket or the same category because essentially you've got to be very childlike in mind to believe in any of those ideas. But if we're looking at the idea of accountability and looking at the ideas of God and the devil, we start to see basically this idea of true evil and true good, and how we attribute that or misattribute those those qualities or those traits in us when we actually look at being good to people. We say that it was God's will, and we're doing this because God wants us to be good and do the right thing. But whereas if we were actually being evil, we misattribute that to the devil. Once again, letting go of our accountability for the actual evils that we do, and that's where the accountability goes, because we don't have to be accountable for the evil things that we do, when basically something else, or this external locus of control, this idea of something outside of us being controlling it, and we're not be able to do anything about it. Which, like I say, if the devil's forcing us to be evil, then our accountability is gone, because we can say the devil made us do it, even though the true evil just lies inside of humans, and it's whether we want to entertain those thoughts and ideas, or actually look at trying to be good to people and entertaining those ideas. But once again, if we're actually saying that we're being good, God takes credit for that. If we're being evil, the devil takes credit for that. And like I said, then what kind of accountability do we have for anything that we do when the credit's taken in one place and the accountability is negated in the other place? Good and evil. And therefore, if we're actually always misattributing this to an external locus of control, then what kind of behaviours do we actually have that are our own? And this is where I'd suggest, when being a Taoist myself, just having an ethic. Like I said, Taoism doesn't have a ruling head or a god or a deity, so therefore it has to look at the ethics and these observations about life and observations about other people and how they come to treat other people, and like I say, using ethics to actually help you do that, will give you a good premise to start from. Being one of the first ethics that obviously that I use is you know you know refrain from doing physical and psychological harm. So once again, if I'm actually looking at myself and going, right, if I don't want to do physical or psychological harm to people, therefore I'm not going to do something that's wrong or evil or nasty to that person. I'm always going to try and do the right thing for that person, always making sure that I'm not actually basing that on my own kind of understanding of myself, but my knowledge and understanding of the other person, so I can advise them in the best way. Once again, looking at the idea of ethics and not doing psychological or physical harm. So like I say, when we're actually looking at the true evil, it's because we're given misguided understandings of where this actually comes from, when really, if we entertain thoughts like that, like I said in Contemplation 9, if we were able to do evil and that information is taken away, basically we're only left with the information we have. So we actually base our cognitive processes and behaviour on those premises. So looking at accountability, that's once again negated, or that credit is taken basically by an outside force, an external locus. So anyway, that's Contemplation 9 on the Truth Talking Taoist. and I hope to speak to you again at some point.